I'm going to show you how to get the best interest rate at the dealership on your next auto loan. If you don't know, my name is Tommy. I've been in the car business most of my adult life, done sales, done finance. Now I negotiate car deals. Enough about me. Let's talk about interest rates. I honestly think it's a more important skill to learn how to negotiate the interest rate than it actually is to negotiate the price of the car. So let's talk about negotiating an interest rate. The first thing you have to understand is that the interest rate is negotiable. Some dealerships will say that's not negotiable, but if you read your bank contract, just go through your bank contract right before you sign, it will say the APR is negotiable, so understand that. Now, what I'm gonna do for a second is I wanna put aside incentivized rates, because incentivized rates are made by the manufacturer. They are incentivized in order to buy a vehicle. Sure, you can negotiate on these a little bit if you want the dealership to buy it down, but that's costing them money, which is potentially money that you could have off the car. So let's put incentivized rates. Step one is always check for incentivized rates. If you don't know how to do this, go to the manufacturer website, see if you qualify. It's that easy, and then you'll see what rates that the dealership has just built into the car you're gonna buy. And I will say this works on new, this works on used, this works on anything. We've checked for incentivized rates and we understand rates are negotiable. The next thing we have to do is actually one of the hardest, which is you do a little bit of research to find the best possible pre-approval you have. You want to go look at, for example, I like PenFed and the Consumer Credit Union, but look at your local credit union, look at your banks, try to find the best credit union you can for a pre-approval. Now, one of the biggest myths in the car industry is that when you run your credit a whole bunch while buying a car, it keeps dinging you each and every time. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion have all debunked this, saying when you're buying a car, just like buying a house, all of these get lumped into one pool. Ideally, with like a credit union, they have their rates online, so you don't need to pull it each and every time. But with banks, you don't. I recommend normally looking at a few options of these to find the best possible pre-approval. Now, this is where some people get lost. When we're negotiating a car deal, we don't tell them about our pre-approval. We are going to tell them we're going to finance with them if the car is right, if the rate is right. And we're going to go through the entire car deal until we negotiate all the numbers we need to up to the rate. Now, the reason why we do this is that dealerships, again, make more money if you finance the car. They make on average $4,000 a finance deal. They make an average $1,000 on a cash or a pre-approval deal. So that being said, they're more than likely willing to take a risk on losing a little bit more money if there's a chance for you to finance and make more money. Now, that all being said, once we've negotiated the price of the car, like I've talked to in all my videos, we're going to talk about interest rate. So this is probably my most controversial opinion between the car buying world, but I was in finance for 6 years, so I feel like I have a very unique advantage of being able to talk about this. When we're talking about interest rates, plenty of people, plenty of car gurus will tell you, don't tell them what your pre-approval is, just have them beat your rate. But there's a few problems with this. And that biggest problem actually is that they don't have a target to beat. I know a lot of people will say, well, if you show your hand, then all of a sudden they can't beat yours. But realistically, if you've done your job to find the best possible rate, you've looked at the market, you've looked at incentivized rates, and you feel confident you found the best possible rate, they understand they're gonna have to beat a very competitive rate. And if they just go to their banks and say, what's the best rate you got for me? They're just gonna give them the best advertised rates. Very similar to if you just say, hey, what's the best price you can sell me this car? They're just gonna give you the advertised price. You're not giving them a reason to go lower. And again, this is why we give them a reason. We're gonna tell them what rate we got. We have to be confident that our rate is spectacular. It's awesome, it's great. Dealerships don't have a magic button to have lower rates than everybody else. They have great relationships that they can lean on in order to help get a rate lower. I'm gonna give you a real life example of something that happened to me while I was in the car dealership. So we had somebody that had pre-approval, they wouldn't tell us their rate, and they were saying, I just need your best possible rate. So all we would do is go to find our best credit union we have, print out the rate sheet, and put it right in front of them. We'd say, hey, these are the best rates that are on the market right now. Now compare that to somebody that was at, let's just say a 3.89, and our best rate is 3.99. Now I can call up the bank, let's just say it's Green State or whatever it is, it's a local credit union where I work. I said, hey, you know what, I have somebody, they want to be business with a local credit union, sell them the story. I really need a 3.49 to make this work. And there might be a few things. Sometimes if I have a great relationship as a dealership with this bank, they might just give me the 3.49. I had a bank that would match almost any rate and beat it by quite a considerable amount. But then I have other people that would say, you know what, I'll do it, but I'm not going to pay you guys in reserve, which is the money the dealership makes. And as a finance guy, I'm more than willing to sometimes take that risk if I think I can make money on the back. Again, this is also why I say don't show your cards. Don't say I'm not buying a warranty. I'm not buying it. Don't do any of that. You're just costing yourself money in these negotiations. We're negotiating every piece of a card. You don't show your poker hand at the very beginning and say, okay, I want to go all in after you showed your cards. No, you hold your cards to your chest and then you get a little bit of money at the time as the turn comes, as the river comes, until the game is over and you go all in and you win the game. So we're going to tell them what our pre-approval is. We're proud of that pre-approval. I'm pre-approved at 5.99%. I want you to beat that rate. Now, here's the thing that people don't understand. They say, well, Tommy, they're just gonna beat it by 0.01. Guess what? I'm not gonna finance with you if you beat it by 0.01. And you can tell them that, hey, I'm pre-approved with my bank that I like a lot. I would need you to beat their rate by a decent amount, at least 0.5%, if not more, or you can say 1%, whatever number you want to say. But again, if the best possible rate you found here, you're probably not going to get them beat it by another 2%. Realistically, the most that I ever see with my deals are about 1% that they'll beat it by. And every deal is different, but 0.5% to 2% is normally what I tell them to beat it by, and they'll normally meet me right in the middle because they're going to call in favors to do that. I know this is a long video, but we have to leverage the relationships that dealerships have with their banks in order to get the best possible interest rates. This will get you the best interest rate every single time. Now, the tricky part, and the thing you have to understand and realize, is that dealerships are now going to try to make money on finance. So you have to be extremely careful on reading your contract, because they might add gap, warranty, things that you didn't ask for or didn't even want on the car that they may imply that is included. That's why I normally recommend, if you don't feel comfortable with this, just go with your pre-approval. You'll probably still have a pretty dang competitive rate, but if you want truly the best rate, you're going to utilize that against the dealership and you're going to quadruple check your contract. If you guys want more videos like this, I want you to like, follow, subscribe, but thank you and have a great day.